What's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? It's your girl SB. I'm back with another 7 Deadly Sins review, Wrath of the Gods. Let's get into it. Let's just make a disclaimer because this video is going to be longer than the other one because I'm doing a review on episodes 2 through 4. I was going to break them up and try to do 2 and 3, but all the action happened in 4, and why do 2 and 3 if you don't do 4? So I went ahead and did episodes 2 through 4. So please forgive me if this video is a little longer than the previous ones. You guys, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so episode 2. Going back to episode 1, we only are introduced to 5 of the sins at the time. That was Escanor, Meliodas, Bond, Merlin, and Gother. Now, the 2 that were missing were Deanne and King. So, in the second episode, we see Deanne and King. They're in some sort of cave, I guess, that's close to the Fairy King's forest. And, like, we start off seeing a naked King. He's like thinking about Deanne, of course, and then Deanne comes in and she's naked too. They're in a hot spring and she's naked too, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that you were here. But they were flogging like 100%, because you mean to tell me that King couldn't hear giant Diane's footsteps coming in the water in the hot springs? She's a giant. You're gonna hear that. And you mean to tell me that with Deanne's bird's eye view, because she's a giant, that she didn't see little King in the hot spring naked? They knew. They knew. And so we see King and Deanne in this hot spring. King's kind of stressed out because, you know, he's just like, I'm a fairy, but I don't have my wings yet. You know, and Deanne's just like, you know, they'll come in, sweetie. These 2 were in the kingdom of Leonis at the time when Meliodas was killed by Estarossa. So they still think that Meliodas is dead. So they're reminiscing on the death of their captain. If you don't remember, Estarossa did kill Meliodas at the ending of the last season, but he was resurrected. Deanne and King weren't there, so they still think that he has fallen. So in this episode, we see that King has taken his rightful place as king of the Fairy King's forest. You know, we come in and we see all the fairies, and they just like, yeah, we happy to be alive. King is back. We finna hit a little jig or whatever. They're happy because King is king. He's come back to protect the Fairy King forest. Before, when he was gone, his sister Elaine was in charge. That's when the red demon came and murdered her. That's the whole thing. Go back to season 1 if you missed it. So he's taken, you know, his rightful place in the Fairy King forest. They're dancing and stuff. All of a sudden, King and Deanne faint. They fall out. Their souls are taken away to battle Droll and Gloxenia. So they were just like, they were even just talking about the next time we come across those 2, we gotta beat them up. And then Droll and Gloxenia, they were just like, well, here's your opportunity, let's fight. And then when they got the opportunity to fight, like, they was losing, because let's keep in mind, Gloxenia was the first fairy king of the Fairy King's forest. So technically, King is his descendant. So, you know, them ancestors, they be coming with another type of force and another type of power. So what was they gonna do? And parallel to that, Droll was also the king or the leader of the giant clan, which makes Deanne his descendant. So these 2 descendants were kind of really just fighting up against, you know, the previous people, or like the founders of their respective clans, and they were just getting beat up. And then I was like, well, this is happening quite early in the series. Don't they get a chance to rest? They was just fighting. But the whole thing took a surprising turn, because I was not expecting for the Droll and Gloxinia of the Ten Commandments to be like, well, we finna train y'all because we don't hold loyalty to the Ten Commandments. Well, they were a part of the Ten Commandments, but they weren't a part of the Demon Clan. So they were a part of the Ten Commandments for different reasons than, let's say, Derriere. But they were in there for two whole different reasons. So they came back and decided that they were going to train Deanne and King. And how are they going to do that? It's not your basic training. This is how they did it. They put them in their parallel bodies. So King got Gloxinia. He was in his body. His soul was in his body. And Deanne's soul was in Droll's body. And they sent them back to 3,000 years ago when the first start of the whole beef with the goddess race and the demon race started. You know? So they sent them back to be able to really hone the powers of a true fairy king and a true leader of the giants. That was episode number 2. It's not really anything to get excited about. So we're gonna head on over to episode 3 where things start to get a little juicy, okay? We in episode 3. It's getting juicy right now because we about to get ready to meet some new people that we didn't know about. You know, we about to get ready to see Meliodas 3,000 years ago and his friend, boss lady Elizabeth, you know, because she ain't that old, timid, but Sir Meliodas, you know, it's not that type of Elizabeth from before. Back in the Fairy King's forest, people are like confused because Deanne and King won't wake up. But Droll and Gloxinia are just like, until they complete the task that we've given them, they're not finna wake up ever again. And if they died 3,000 years ago, then they just dead. They are, first off, presented with a battle against one of the 10 Commandments. His name is Commodios. And they, at first, are afraid, but then they realize how powerful that they could be because they're in the bodies of two beings who are already more powerful than them. And I guess the reasoning behind showing them this power is saying like, you know, we just didn't get this overnight. It's from experiences, and if we can have it, you can have it too. So they fight Commodios. They wouldn't have won if Meliodas didn't come in with the full counter, but it is what it is. It could happen to anybody. It could happen to the best of them. Then we see boss lady Elizabeth. She got the wings on. She got the eyes in full effect. And they're just like, Elizabeth, how did you know, get them to stop, to not attack us? And she was like, I just asked them to, bro. And she had the little eyes. She was, I just asked them to. They just left. So they were also saving this group of people, and it was this guy who's introduced as Rue. And the only reason I'm pointing him out is because Gloxinia, or King, stay with me, referred to him as Bond. And if you know, Bond is the fox sin of greed. Yeah, he's the fox sin of greed. But he was in a whole other different form. I don't know what that's about. I'm not going to delve into it because I don't know. It's an honorable mention. I'm going to keep on going. Fairy King Forest 3,000 years ago, and King just looking like, bro, I'm trash. Compared to this, it was trees everywhere. I personally agree. And when they get to their little hideout or whatever, this is where we meet Nerobasta, who is the goddess race's Lance Corporal, and Ludociel of the 4 Archangels. And they, first of all, she came out with a snooty attitude, and I didn't like that off the rip. She came out saying it took all 3 of y'all to take down one 10 commandment. You know, trying to call them weak. Like, where was you at? Nerobasta, where was you? Okay, we did the work. You can at least say thank you. I hate it when people do that. Anywho, so we meet her, and then it's just like they come off so snooty. And then Ludociel came out. He's the leader. He's also a member of a group called the Four Archangels, and we're gonna talk about them more. But he came out all snooty and stuff. They was like, you know, the thing they do, his magic power is incredible. You know, they do that thing. So they did that to Ludo. So that automatically gives him status. But personally, I wasn't impressed with them.
Cause you're not that cute, and your hair is uneven. You look dusty.
Meet Ludo because he comes in insane off the bat. He's insane. He's just like, we finna end this holy war. You know how we gonna do it? And they're just like, yeah, let's end it. How we gonna do it? We gonna kill everybody in the demon clan. They was like, whoa, you gotta calm down, Ludo. That's my nickname for Ludo because I'm not gonna say that every time. So something I want y'all to keep in mind at this entire time is that Meliodas is also a part of the demon clan. Everybody, including Ludo, knows this and he just don't care. But I would like to point out how Meliodas was not bothered because he already know he about that life. You know, we know he about that life. I don't know how much they knew, but he was just like, we'll figure it out when we get there. I like that approach on life. We'll just take it step by step. I know I don't need to get stressed out about everything. Him and Rue or Bun, they're having like a little heart to heart like they always do. And the next day, King or Gloxinia points out that there is a faint surge of magical power that's encompassing the entire area. Gloxinia's sister, Gerard, she was like, yeah, Ludo is using demon race members as live bait in order to get the demon clan to come to us so they can just destroy them all at once. And I was like, oh no. That plan actually worked because the Six Knights of Black, which is some of the people that Meliodas and the crew had to fight in the previous seasons, go watch, they came and rolled up with like an army of red and gray demons, and they was just like, bro, it's traces of our comrades' magical power in y'all city. So what's going on? Y'all need to give them back, or we finna tear some stuff up. After that, Ludo, he came back. And he just made everything worse. He was like, oh, y'all, this is according to our plan. And he killed everybody. Like, he exposed them. They were in a arc or something of light or whatever. And he slaughtered them all. And the Six Knights of Black was like, oh, word? This how we doing stuff, Ludo? So now we on to episode 4 where it gets juicy. We're about to meet 2 more members of the 4 Archangels. So let's go. We on episode 4 now. Y'all, I think this whole season, to me, is starting out to look like an origin story. We see Meliodas 3,000 years ago. We see Elizabeth in her full form. We get to meet some awesome, powerful people. And, you know, at the same time, each character is getting stronger and stronger by the day. In reference to Deanne and King, you know, I'm excited to see what happens in the future. But let's go back to episode 4. In episode 4, we are introduced to 2 new members of the 4 Archangels, and they are Sariel and Tarmiel. So what they do, because remember, the 6 Knights of Black and their demon army behind them, they're riled up because they just saw their comrades, and in some cases their family members, they just saw them get murdered. So they're riled up, they're ready to fight, but then these 2 Archangels came down and obliterated all of the demons. All the red and gray demons left nothing, except the 6 Knights of Black, who were obviously ready for a fight. Something that really bothered me, the little boy, he looked like, you know, he was wearing Oliver Twist night clothes or something. He was like, you impure souls perish in the light of judgment. And that just really got me heated because I already didn't like Nerabasta and Ludo. And now I'm just like, y'all are snooty and pompous. What gives you the right to judge, okay? Okay, and you might justify this saying, well, that's the demon race. Okay, well, that's the demon race, but what's to stop them from judging any other races harshly like that also? We're back to a conversation between Ludo and Neurobasta. So he tells her to summon backup in case a fight with the Ten Commandments gets icky, you know? And after that, I'm really confused because then we see Gother and then we see that girl. What's her name? We see another member of the Ten Commandments. I'll insert a picture somewhere. Her name really escapes me right now. So she does it. She's, you know, sends for backup, and then she takes Gother to a place that's it's called the Gate of the Celestial Realm, and like it looks super like it's angels coming out. It's all silver. It's glowing, and I'm just like, whoa, what's that? You know, I'm excited to see what's behind that door, but I'm also afraid too because the people who are on this side have impure intentions. We're back on the battlefield, right? Sariel and Tarmiel, they put in work. You know, what's her name? Derriere. You know, she trying to box up Tarmiel with the 3 heads, and he's just like, bro, this don't hurt. And like he was letting her put in some work too, like Michael Jackson.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Like Mike Tyson, he was letting her put in some work, like Muhammad Ali or something, and he was like, bro, this don't hurt. Can you stop? Like, and then Ludo came to the party, and he just an overwhelming amount of power. For one individual, it was just overwhelming. He was just killing folk, you know, and obviously Derriere and Sir Monspeet, they get intimidated, or they somehow know that this is not going to end well. So they do this whole thing that they give their 6 hearts to somebody, and it helped to unleash their true form. And then they just got insanely powerful. And I guess that then intimidated Ludo. He asked Sariel and Tarmiel for help. Sir Monspeet, he killed them folks off the rip. It was so fast. Like it came out with these little hooks, and then he burnt them to death. It was pretty awesome. They were about to. That he killed the 2 Archangels right there, or they appear to be dead. You know how things in this anime works. They look dead, and he was like, what's his name? Ludo. He was just like, oh, okay, I see what y'all doing, so we finna fight to the death, right? But he was like, yeah, I'll kill both of y'all. Y'all don't want this work. I'll kill both of y'all. But then Elizabeth come with the eyes. Elizabeth came and she was just like, nah, bro, this stop. And just like Elizabeth, that's the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed the content. Don't be afraid to like, comment, and subscribe. I really enjoy making these videos, so your feedback is welcome. Let me know how you're enjoying the anime so far. I personally am loving it. Monday night or Tuesday night, I will be back with another video. Thanks for watching.